Hello, welcome to Chipola College Athletics. Royce Reagan filling in for somebody who's going to be doing this regularly. But we got here our men's basketball coach with us, Brett Campbell. Brett, how you doing today?
Royce, good to see you.
Doing good. Now, you got on a new shirt. I've never seen the Chipola shirt like that. Is that new?
This is one of our newer
Well, you gave me one,
garments.
but mine's not as...
We'll see if we can.
Okay, well, I'm just kidding.
We'll see if we can take care of it.
The other one is pretty cool, too. Somebody said, where did you get that shirt? And I said, I know the coach. I know the coach. And it's a large, and I usually wear extra large, but it's perfect.
Good.
You know, I guess in basketball,
they probably,
extra large is when you're 6'7" and weigh
a little bit
3.
bigger, right?
Yeah. Well, Coach, everything seemed to be going to go. We're slow a little bit because we're struggling a little bit, but we seem to be playing extremely well, and we've gotten better every game.
Well, you know, it's frustrating anytime you go through some losses, and you know, we had won 10 out of our 12 going into the conference play, and then all of a sudden stubbed our toe, and you know, it's challenging. Our guys have played extremely hard. All but one of those conference games, we've been in the lead in the second half. So that's also tells you how close we are. But you know, we're not in it to be close. We're in it to win. And I'm proud of our guys. They continue to fight extremely hard, and good things will happen down the road. We all want them to happen right away.
Well, I didn't see anybody put their head down because we lost at the buzzer. You know, I mean, they wanted to win, but
Sure.
that's part of it. But you have gotten better. Now, the best game, other than that one last night, I thought there were points in that. When you're down 11 points and you come back, just kept chipping away, and all of a sudden you get even with it. I say, well, we're in good shape. But the game against Northwest Florida, when we were up with about 8 minutes till about 8 minutes in the game, and
Right.
they're ranked what, number 1?
Well, they're one in our league, and they're one of the top 10 teams in the country. They're very talented, undefeated in our league, and again, you know, a game that, you know, we were actually up 12 right at the in about the 18 mark of the second half, and then up also going down the stretch. But you know, they're a good basketball team. I thought we had a chance. We've got them 2 more times. Anything can happen, but we're not far off.
No, we're
but
not.
Unfortunately, you know, we've just come up on the short end, and it's been a little frustrating.
Well, let me say this, being an old man, been here a long time. Everybody wants to beat Chipola. I mean, I would
Sure.
think some of the teams playing in Northwest Florida, they say, well, we're going to get beat. That's not what they say when they play Chipola. Everybody wants to play Chipola because we are the one.
Well, Chipola, obviously, the tradition is unbelievable, and we know it. The people know. When you say that name, I was talking to a coach in New York earlier this morning while we were doing some recruiting, and you know, that name rings forever in the junior college ranks, and you know, we need to continue the tradition, and we certainly will. But Chipola has a ring to it that is extremely strong in junior college ranks, and I think always will be.
I was in Tallahassee at a quick restaurant with my wife. We were over messing around, and this team comes in. And then they were 2 or 3 big guys. But I thought maybe they were a college. It was a high school travel team. Now, this was 2 weekends ago, so
Right.
they ought to be in school, but it must be a private school, the only thing I can figure. So I saw it on his shirt. So, you know me. I said, hey, where y'all from, sir? He said, well, I'm the coach, and he told me from North Carolina. And he said, well, where are you from? I said, Chipola. He said, y'all need to look at my big boy. You need to look at my big boy. And I said, well, when y'all play? And he said, today at 5. And I said, well, I know that's not going to happen. And Monday at 5. And I said, well, that's right in the middle of practice time for us, and I'm sure our coach is not going to get over. He said, but we got a big player. But he said, Chipola, they're the best. They're the best. That's why we want him to look at him.
You know, that helps, you know, when coaches say that to their players. And, you know, we recruit out of North Carolina. We recruit everywhere. But that name, Chipola, I mean, you get people's attention if a young man is looking at going to junior college for whatever reason. So that certainly helps.
Well, let me ask you this. How is the recruiting going, and how is that looking?
You know, it's going well. Again, the name itself gets us in a lot of doors, and we continue to. We've got 2 commitments. Can't really talk about that until they're officially signed.
We can talk about them, how good they are. How are they?
Well, they're very good players, and so we're looking forward to, you know, continuing the process. And you know, you're as good as your players, and certainly we're going to be able to get some quality players in here, and I think, you know, solidify ourselves for the future.
Well, how about the networking with you being around a while, since you're not in your 20s? Like a lot of coaches are on the junior college level. No, all the places you've coached, the 2 or 3 places you've coached and been very successful, do you still have those coaches out there on the high school level that that you once recruited from, or they change off?
No, we certainly do. It was kind of ironic. There's a coach in Alabama that I went in, and I had recruited one of his players and actually signed when I was in Tennessee, and reacquainted and talking about, and we're involved with one of his players also. But it certainly helps. The longer you're in any type of business, the more tentacles you have to reach out and touch people, and coaches can help you. So certainly just the history of recruiting certainly helps itself, and being in a new location and in a new arena from a junior college standpoint, it's helpful, and it's helped already open a lot of doors for us.
Well, everybody wants to beat Chipola. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I don't know if it was you or somebody else. They said, well, welcome to the best conference in America.
It is.
Basketball.
Royce, you've seen it longer than I have, and I've seen it from the outside. Now I'm seeing it from the inside. And, the environment, it's better than a lot of Division I situations, because the environment you walk into, the games are unbelievable, and the high level of players that you have on the court at that one time. I mean, you're going to have, we'll play Northwest on Saturday, and there'll be 20 players, 10 on each side that are Division I guys, if not more. So, that makes for an interesting game, interesting competition, and the fans understand how important these games are, and only 2 go to the state tournament every year. So, I think our third, fourth, fifth place team in this league could go down and make a mark at the state tournament. That's how good this league is year in, year out.
Well, I heard we've been talking about bidding on the state tournament again. Can we comment on that yet, or?
I think so. Those bids will go out. I know people here in Chipola and coaches from around the country always say, hey, when are you guys getting the state tournament back? That's one of the best marquees that has ever been in Florida junior college basketball, or any junior college basketball environment. People here in Chipola have really, done a great job in the past of hosting that tournament, the crowds. And what you want to have is really the best situation for a championship for your student athlete, because that's what you're playing for, is a tournament and a tournament atmosphere. And I think Chipola, without a doubt, gives that atmosphere to the junior college ranks of anywhere around. So we'll be bidding on it again. Coach Johnson has certainly been behind that a lot, and Dr. Hurst, and I think the people here in Chipola would love to have it back. And again, you're talking about a great environment, so that's what we're trying to put forth.
The complaint over the years all over the state of Florida is we home court, because all of the teams that will be there from our conference have played on that court. Of course, we go down last year to Central Florida, and still our conference won both of those games.
Exactly.
And, I mean, what else can you say?
Exactly. You had 2 national championship teams that came out of this conference on the men and women's side last year. They went down to Central Florida and won the tournament, and then won the national championship. But just, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. I know a lot of people say, hey, you're going to have a home court advantage, but what you really want, again, is the best atmosphere for your student athletes who are going to play all year. They don't want to play in front of, 25 to 200 people.
Don't be ugly, Coach, but that was true. Some of the games, there were not 50 people in the gym.
Well, and I think when you bring it to a place that really embraces junior college basketball, and this community for years has embraced junior college basketball, it creates an unbelievable atmosphere and a great tournament setting. So I hope it does come back this way.
Well, I do hope we get it back, too. And our community needs that $250,000 that comes in here to the community,
Well, it certainly helps. There's no doubt about it. But we have. There's a lot of legwork. A lot of people have to volunteer. Yep. But I have yet to see a junior college tournament situation better than Chipola has had in the past. And I've been to it as a recruiter. Obviously, haven't coached in it, but it could be a great situation again.
Who else is going to be it? Have you heard any projections?
We really don't know at this time. The bids will go out and will be addressed at the state tournament down in Ocala this year. So we should know, by end of March.
I hope the coaches don't get to vote.
Well, we'll see. I also talking with a lot of coaches. It's interesting to see. I think they still want a good atmosphere.
Sure.
Some of them distance-wise, they may say, hey, it's too far for the Miami-Dades and those people.
Well, let me throw this in here. At that meeting, you say, whoever was running the camera last year had no clue. Say, we've got an idiot in Jackson County who, if y'all will pay his expenses for no pay, he will come spend the week and video every game.
Well, it doesn't
You
take
understand
long for anybody to watch a Chipola basketball game. They know we've got the best.
Well,
and
I appreciate
that's
that,
obvious
but
when you
was,
watch our
it's
games.
just terrible. I mean,
Right. And you make a good point, because a lot of people across the country, they want to watch their kids play, or they have relatives that are playing, or just fans for general. And you want to see a good quality game that can be live streamed.
Coach, appreciate it.
Royce,
Looking forward to
always
it.
good.
We're mid-season now, right? About mid-season.
We sure are in the conference, so
In the
just about to finish up about 6 more weeks.
All right. You've seen it right here on Chipola College Television. Brett Campbell, our men's basketball coach. We're doing good. If you love college basketball, come see us play. But I appreciate him. But most of all, I appreciate your watching and keeping up with Chipola College Television.